Hello and welcome to Footy Judgmo. I think it's only good enough to have Ziad do the intro today. Zizo. Welcome to Footy Judgmo. Hit that like button, people. Ziad, you have to do the intro for the show. You have to. I don't know who you're talking to, but you have to do the intro.
I'm not talking
Zizo.
to anyone.
You
I'm not
have
talking
to
to
do the intro.
like, subscribe, and yeah. I don't know what you. Mo, please, man.
What is
Listen,
wrong?
guys. What do you mean? What? Just like and subscribe, man. Come on, man. Give Mo some support. Show some love. And yeah, man. That's it, bro.
That's it.
Wallah,
That's all you
that's it.
have for Chelsea, bro. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
I think
Zizo.
I've hit rock bottom with Andrew. Andrew, I think we're on the same page now, Andrew. I think we're on the
Listen.
same page, bro.
Well, listen, people. I think you're not good enough to do that. Listen, people. We'll talk about Chelsea, of course. We don't know if Poch is going to continue with this team or not. I'm sure he will, to be honest. But big up everybody that joined us, of course, on Footy. Judge Mo. Todd Bowley has to do something. He has to get experience. Jordan Henderson is out there for you. Jordan Henderson is out there for experience. But listen, people. Chelsea humbled by mid-table. Championship Middlesbrough today. Humbled. They looked very comfortable. Middlesbrough. Michael Carrick teaching Pochettino a lesson. Yes, Pochettino, his players missed a lot of chances. Cole Palmer sent somebody else instead of him. But we are joined by a fantastic panel for you today with Nina is here, tripping Chelsea, Zizo, of course, Ziad, Winter Surf, and of course, the one and only Mohamed Salah is here. Well, we'll talk about Man United and this news today that Eric Ten Hag is staying until the end of the season, which is absolutely astonishing as well. And Bruno Fernandes is a brilliant player, as per Mohamed Salah, of course, is here. But let me start with Nina, since she was the first one here on the stream. Your thoughts about the game? What did you think? And are you still watching?
How I just knew you would start with that question. It just had to be, didn't it? Like, you know what? I put my hands up today and I said I struggled today after that game to still defend this man because, like, in today's game, I couldn't tell you what the game plan was. I couldn't tell you how we set up. I couldn't tell you what intentions were moving forward. And frankly, substitutions too, couldn't tell you what he was doing. Sat on the bench the whole time. Nothing was changed at half time. At least against Preston, things actually livened up at half time and afterwards. But we regressed in that second half. And fair play to Middlesbrough. You know, they had intensity at the end. They were still pressing us, still pushing us out their box in those like last 10, 15, 20 minutes. And what was Pochettino doing? He was sat on the bench looking at his iPad. And what? And what? I actually just don't know where to start with this game. I could go on and on and on, but yeah, I don't know. I saw nothing in Pochettino as a manager today, and that's saying something because anyone that watches everything I say put out there, I've been so Pochettino in, and I defend him till the very end. But today he gave me nothing. He actually gave me nothing. I cannot sit here with an honest heart and tell everyone that Pochettino is worth trusting because what on earth was that? And then he came out and said that the boys apparently gave it everything. Did we watch the same game? Did the boys give it everything? They look like they couldn't be bothered. Just even before halftime, a lot of them would have walked into the dressing room and wouldn't have walked back out if they didn't have to, if they weren't contracted to. So yeah, abysmal today, absolutely abysmal. And Pochettino just, yeah, he isn't making himself, very favoured moving forward. Thank God there's a second leg because
Hold on. Why it's his fault if Cole Palmer misses a wide open net? Why
okay,
it's
look, Cole Palmer's
Pochettino's
a different
fault?
story today. It's not. I've been saying this all season as well, which is why I've been cutting like Poch slack because it's not his fault when players can't finish a simple chance. Yes, Cole Palmer could have had a hat trick today. He had 3 opportunities, clear cut, could have finished
One on
it.
one, open net.
Yes. And
So why
let's
it's
be real,
Pochettino's fault? How is it Pochettino's fault?
the way we set up, the fullback
But
situation.
you
I said it
created
against
chances.
what?
But you created a lot of chances.
Yeah, we created chances, but we were whipping in aerial crosses to who? Nobody was in the box. We didn't have a striker there. He didn't put out one today. So where were these crosses to? Who were they to? You know? And then when the striker did come on the pitch, well, then then we stopped trying to create anything. Then they set up their low block, and then what? That's exactly what it is. We can't finish our chances. Yes, okay, I get that. That's on the players, but you know, Pochettino should have made changes. And why Raheem Sterling starts? Why he's still on the pitch at the end of the day? You make 2 substitutions, and Raheem Sterling's still on the pitch. What does Sterling do? Like, someone tell me, what does he do? People are calling and ripping apart Noni Madueke, but really, what I'm seeing from Sterling is nothing better. Yet he's supposed to be the one that's experienced, that's got the Premier League titles pedigree, that's won trophies more than these youngsters can dream of. And then and what's the end product? He dribbles into every single defender that he can come across. He will make the wrong decision 9 out of 10 times, yet Pochettino will start him. And guess what? News for you all. He's going to start against Fulham too. And he will start the game afterwards, because Pochettino is hanging on to dear life to Sterling and Gallagher, and they will not be dropped whatever happens moving forward.
Do you guys remember? I'm not sure if Ziad remembers this. When someone asked me, this was the wildest take, one of my wildest takes. In the beginning of the season, actually, someone asked me, would you take Sterling? I said, no, I would take Saeed bin Rahma over Sterling based on the performances of last season. And I had to admit that I was wrong when he played 2 games, and people said, you have to say you're wrong. And I said, I'm wrong. But apparently Chelsea fans now are saying that Sterling shouldn't be playing for Chelsea Football Club. I think he's one of the most overrated players in the English football history.
I mean,
because he played for Pep Guardiola.
To be fair, Mo, how many of these players should be playing for Chelsea Football Club? I mean, you look at the last 10, 15 years, not a single one of these players deserve to be playing for Chelsea Football Club. None of them are good enough to be playing for Chelsea Football Club. Maybe 1 or 2 of them, if Reece James can stay healthy, if Enzo Fernandez can be what people want him, like maybe at some point. But none of the players that play today are the ilk of Chelsea Football Club, in my opinion. And just to go back to what Nina was saying about Poch, I feel like I don't think there's a manager right now that can come in and change anything, in my opinion. I feel like you need, at some point, you're going to need to trust the manager and try and just see it through and give him the keys and just see how it goes. I feel like it's too soon. Like, you can't get rid of a manager every 6 months.
No, of course not. Yeah.
And that's why like when people say Arteta, like before, the same with Ten Hag. I'm one of those people that I feel like all managers deserve a bit of time to kind of let things happen. It's only been 4 or 5 months since he's been here. He's been, I mean, there's about 10, 15 players that have just been dropped onto his head. He doesn't even know his favorite starting lineup yet. He's been Chelsea Football Club have been struggling with a lot of injuries, so allow him to kind of just figure out what he wants to do, how he wants to play. I feel like every manager kind of just deserves that. Obviously, things aren't going well at the moment.
Brother, sorry.
There has to be a cutoff point.
1 second.
There has to be a cutoff
point. Yeah, of course, but I feel like it's too soon, though, in my opinion. I feel like, I mean, like, let him have a few months at least. I don't know. This new generation of football fans is just like, get rid of him. I mean, like, just relax a little bit. Let him have a full squad for a couple of months first. See how that goes. And yeah,
there has to be a cutoff. There has to be a cutoff point.
I mean, who's gonna come in and change something now at this Chelsea at this club right now? Give me anyone that's available. You're gonna bring back Antonio Conte. You're gonna bring Jose Mourinho. Who's gonna give you instant impact at Chelsea right now? Give me any name.
Listen. Ask Andrew. I've been trying to back Pochettino. I've tried my best, but what you've just listed in terms of having a full squad, give him no injuries, plays all over him. Bro, that's not true, bro. The guy had a preseason. The guy was doing well in preseason.
One preseason. I mean, like, look.
No. But the point is,
this is how short memory and how football is nowadays.
The point is, he performed well in preseason. He showed decent things in preseason, and he's flipped.
He did. He absolutely did. Yes.
So listen. Today you can look at the players.
Oh, by the way, let me just one quick disclaimer. Sorry to disturb you. I haven't watched much of Chelsea this year. I'm just talking about it from a broad football kind of, you know what I'm trying to say, from a broad football sense, in terms of where I stand with managers and things like that. So obviously you guys are way more qualified to come to these conclusions than I am. But I'm just saying from a broad football standpoint how I see it. But sorry.
Listen. I think it's time for him to go.
Really?
Honestly,
now? Time for him to go now?
Honestly, Amo, if I sit here and say Pochettino should stay, I can't give you any reasons other than hope. You know, other than he hasn't been here for long. Yeah, he's had a lot of injuries, so maybe he will perform well. So maybe when the players come back, we might do well. You know, there's nothing for me to go off to say, you know what, we're missing that one player or two players here. That you know what, we're going to perform well. I can't. So today we should have won the game based off of the players missing chances. But I'm sorry, this is a Middlesbrough who are 14th in the championship and they have injuries. I'm sorry, man. You as a manager should be able to completely out tactic Carrick or fucking Michael Carrick. You know, he's taken off Enzo Fernandez instead of Gallagher. He's like, come on, you're playing Cole out left back, even though it gets cooked every single week. Like, bro, I can't back this. I can't.
I don't know why he brought off Enzo. Enzo was one of the better players on the pitch.
Because he has favourites.
Trying something.
Just an easy.
He has favourites because he clearly has favourites in Conor Gallagher. He has favourites.
Conor Gallagher is his representative on that pitch, and
you can't. And you know what? When I can easily say, look, the players were so bad. Palmer was bad. Madueke was bad. Sterling was bad. But when you're bringing on
Madueke wasn't bad. Madueke was
okay. When you're bringing on substitutions, and you're seeing the exact same as what the players on the current pitch are playing, Mudryk was just as bad as Sterling, just as bad as the other attacker Palmer. Rojo was just as bad as them. So you're bringing on substitutions, and they're having zero impact. Since when does a substitution have no impact? You're bringing on the pitch to make a positive impact. If they're coming on the pitch and doing nothing, you've clearly done something wrong. Or am I mistaken, AMO? I know Andrew is going to go in and list 1,000 reasons why he should go out. For me today, I think I've hit rock bottom. I can't, and I'm. It's about to come out of my mouth and say, you know, the famous words. It's about to come. Listen, I'm gonna listen to Andrew now. He may even open my eyes even more, and even some of his comments, it just makes it worse. It just makes it worse, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. Let me see what Andrew is gonna say, but let me do. Ryan is saying, big up the panel except for Surfer. Nina speaking absolute facts. Don't think we didn't need Caicedo for that goal. Indo is clear. Damn, is a Liverpool supporter, of course. Do you want the truth though about? I'm gonna let Andrew speak, but I'm just gonna say something. I was watching Caicedo today. He wasn't bad. But again, I'm gonna say this: when you pay 110 or 115 million, you're expecting a Jude Bellingham. You're expecting someone to come in and completely change the way you play football. Like this accepting of like, yeah, he will come good later. Well, you can do that for a player for 40 million pounds, but you paid that much money. I'm watching Caicedo; he was good. I'm not saying Caicedo was bad, but the way he plays is like, yeah, it's adi. You know, in Arabic word we say. It's all right. Yeah, you're playing you're playing good, but you aren't Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham went to Real Madrid. Look at what he's doing. Like that much money, you should be doing much better. With some of the players on the pitch, like Enzo, even you guys talk about Enzo, right? Enzo should be doing much better than this. Enzo has been in the Premier League now for over a year since last January. Enzo shouldn't be still getting used to the speed of the Premier League. You guys keep defending Enzo and Caicedo, but these guys aren't playing to their price tag. Maybe you overpaid for them, but that's the reality. You spend that money on this player to give you that performance because some of their players are just performing average, like Disasi. Like Caicedo is performing like Disasi. Yeah, Disasi makes a mistake here and there. Caicedo does. Like he isn't performing. The difference between both performances aren't triple or 4 times the price. It isn't. That's how I'm looking at Chelsea. I'm like, yeah, you're all right. You're 10th. You're winning games up and down. And it's astonishing because I see the style of play. I see the way he tries to play football. And I'm going to say this again. Pochettino has a massive problem in choosing personnel on the pitch. Today, there was no reason for him to play Cole Palmer as a false 9. What was the reason? Someone tell me a logical reason for playing a mid-table championship team to play your most creative player as a number 9 trying to drop deep. What was the reason for this? Play a freaking number 9 and play him as a 10. You're playing a championship team. What are you going to do against top teams? It's nuts. That's what is nuts.
So I won't blame Poch for the Palmer misses, and I won't blame him for Caicedo not completing his tracking or for the first goal, because Caicedo went 95% there and then just literally zoned out. So I won't blame him for that. This is a Middlesbrough team who are 12th in the Championship, have 14 injuries, and playing their third choice goalkeeper, and this is their first victory at home since November last year. I'm done with Poch. This whole thing about needing injuries and something like that, I've seen loads of Premier teams have injuries and do better. I've seen Ange come in at the same time as Spurs and do better. Totally change their philosophy. Play with fullbacks, centre back, get a draw at Man City, have a new goalkeeper, new back four, and stuff like that. I don't know what Poch says to these guys at half time. He exudes loser. His comments yesterday in the conference, loser. He is the poster boy for participation awards as a manager. That's what this guy is. He's a loser. How easy would it be to go to your squad and say, do you know what? We weren't expecting a semi-final, but you've got to a semi-final. You're one step away from Wembley. Let's go sort this out. And like you said, Mo, why play Palmer? His management's got to be brought into question, Mo. Broga's on a high from the weekend. What does he do? He benches him. Why are you benching Broga? By the way, Broga's not my cup of tea. But Broga's on a high. You saw when he scored that goal against Preston. He looked like a different player. He looked like taken off his shoulder. But what did he do? He did it to Mudryk the other week. When Mudryk scored, he dropped him for no reason. His management's appalling. Taking Enzo and Madueke off when you keep Sterling and Gallagher on. Why? Because Gallagher's he is you on the pitch. If Gallagher's you on the pitch, then you should have been gone a long time ago. And like Nina said, so you cross the ball in when there's no striker, but then you bring a striker and then you don't cross it in. How does that make sense? That's what Arsenal used to do when Giroud didn't start and when they brought him on. They would cross it into the box when he wasn't there and didn't cross it when he was there. Playing Cole again at left back. Brilliant. He's not as if Cole has been absolutely destroyed every game he plays now again. I can't think of what confidence he shattered in Levi Colwell. Thiago Silva and Disasi. He's made. I don't know. I honestly don't know what he's doing. And just give him time. We don't. This is the only period of time where we play multiple games in a row in a short amount of days. He has 7 periods of this season. He's had 9 days in between games. There's no consistent style of play. He doesn't pick the same team or the same 7 or 8 players. He keeps changing the centre-back partnership. He keeps changing the midfield. I swear I saw Enzo play as a false 9 as part of the game today. I swear I saw him that high.
Yes, 100%. I saw that one.
I swear I did.
And like Enzo went to be the highest guy on the pitch, and he was trying to run behind the defense. Yes. Yeah,
that's what I mean. What is he? What does he do? You say like I was on the terrace. We should do all or nothing documentary. If they did that at the ground, you wouldn't see Pochettino do anything. I swear he doesn't coach. I swear he might say he gives it to his assistants. What are they doing? Again, we are worse defensively than we were last season under Potter. We're worse. I don't. Yeah, but
there's a lot of individual mistakes, though.
I understand that.
I have to be consistent, Andrew. There is a lot of individual mistakes in the team.
Yes.
Like, I am sure the coach didn't tell Caicedo, the guy just can't walk beside you, and you're just watching him.
No.
The guy doesn't tell Thiago Silva to pass the ball to the opposition.
No.
Yeah, you have to be consistent about it.
I understand that, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is, he doesn't inspire these guys. I mean,
there's
no inspiration. I mean, I don't know. Mo, what did he say at halftime? Because after halftime, we look worse. What was he saying at halftime?
Yeah, I don't know, but
I don't know what he does. I listen. I know he's not going to get sacked, so it's pointless me saying Poch out, even though I am, because I don't think he's going to.
When does he have to get sacked, though? You're 10.
I think if we don't, I think if we don't get through in 2 weeks' time, he has to go.
Yeah.
I really do.
Can I ask you a question, Andrew?
Yeah.
Say he does. He is out. Who would you bring in to make an impact straight away? I mean, first of all, what are your goals for the season? And secondly, who would you bring in to help you achieve those goals?
You see, my goal was never to be in a top. My goal was up, but I didn't realistically think they were going to get in the top 4 race or top 5 that people were saying were a title race. I just didn't think they were good enough overall because we hadn't brought in a striker to score goals and we haven't brought in a goalkeeper.
Simple choice. There's no.
Oh my God! I swear to God!
Very
I
simple
swear to
choice,
God!
like,
I swear to God! Lampard comes in again.
I think it's the same. I think
Oh my God!
So that's my question. So that's like, I mean,
well,
there's no one
well,
good available right now.
The initial names you might say is Hansi Flick or Lopetegui or something like that to come in. Now,
but hold on, can I ask you guys something that say Poch out? I say I'm not a Chelsea fan. I say it's again, I'm gonna say this. You have to get results. At the moment, he's on a high in the Premier League, right? Am I wrong?
That's the same results.
Do you have? I'm gonna ask Nina, Ziad, Andrew. Does he have a style of play? Do you guys see a style of play when you watch Chelsea?
I think we saw it starting to see bits of it pre the last international break. But then
And it's gone again? You think it's gone again?
I think it's got even like you said.
That's the problem. It's not a consistent style of play. And when you look at us, do you start to see some sort of like identity now? Because we kept banging on about not having an identity on the pitch last season with Graham Potter and Frank Lampard. But I wouldn't argue there's more of an identity right now with what I'm seeing on the pitch. And that's the problem. It's inconsistent. You know, we go in and out of good games, then we have bad games, then certain individuals will drop stinkers. There's so many inconsistencies. The lineup changes every single game. So how can a system be building here? And yes, okay, here you can argue about the injuries and the fact that, you know, he doesn't have one starting 11 because it changes every week.
But no, sorry, hold on. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You didn't have a left back today. I just looked.
But we never do. But Mo, we haven't had a left back.
You have two, they're injured. You have Chilwell and you have Kukurea, both injured.
Yeah, so we can't
play. Chilwell left wing. And Ian Matson, he wanted to go. So
yes,
to be fair,
Ian Matson wanted to go because he wasn't playing him, Habibi.
Exactly, and you blame him, rightfully so. But listen, Ian Matson started as a winger before he started as a left back for Chelsea for Pochettino. So let me just say that.
10 right wing back.
Pochettino would rather do anything than play Matson at left back. So what's he going to do? He's going to play Colwill there consistently. He's played Gusto there ahead of Ian Matson. So no, of course he's not going to start Ian Matson. But look, that's the thing. It changes so much. How do these players gel? You know, I'm myself someone that bangs on about players playing together, gelling, stop chopping, changing lineups. If someone scores, reward them with a start. If someone has a bad game, drop them. Let this be some sort of like mentality that Pochettino within, so that he gets respect as well. Do you know what I mean? If players start looking at him seeing, oh well, whatever I do, I'm not going to play. I'm going to be rotting on the bench for the next 2-3 games. Why should I be playing for Pochettino? And that's when players lose respect for a manager. And I think we might start to see that really, because it's players like Madueke, like Mudryk, who I keep banging on about getting time. When will Mudryk get a run of 2-3 games again? Yet he gets chucked into games sometimes where we're trying to break down a low block or chasing equalizers, and then he gets pulled apart for it. But you know, Sterling will have a consistent 90. He just gets away with it because he will score a brilliant free kick or he'll get an assist. But 9 out of 10 times he's not there, and he's meant to be the more experienced player. And you know, when Colwill tracked back today, he wasn't tracking back like a left back. He was tracking back like a centre back, but he leaves so much ground in that left area. He gets run through, but then that's also in Poch, because how can you blame a player that's meant to be a centre back, that's not a developed, well-established centre back, by the way, might I add, to play him in and out of these two positions? Even against Tottenham, that first goal that Kulusevski scored, guess who was at fault again? It was Levi Colwill, because he didn't know what ground he was covering when he was tracking back. And in my opinion, that's on Poch, you know, and especially you saw it in the first half against Preston. Like, we had so much of our game was limited because our fullbacks are not fullbacks, and that is literally a blatant problem for us fans. So I'm like, how can Pochettino not see that, you know? And it's decisions like that. So no, Mo, like, to answer your question, there isn't really more of an identity forming. Today, it almost seemed like the style or the intention was, let's just do whatever we can with the ball. It was kind of like, oh, you know, let's just dash it back and forth, maybe try one. Exactly, freestyle. Is freestyle a system? Last time I checked, it's not.
No.
All right. You want me to respond? All right. Simple as.
No, you can do what you want. Do what
you
want.
Put us in our place.
No. Listen. I get what you guys are saying. And I said it many times. He's playing the wrong players in the wrong positions, 100%. But every time, majority of the time, I'm not going to say every time, majority of the time when I watch Chelsea, I see what he's trying to do. My problem with him is players' choices. Like, I see sometimes Malo Gusto go into the line. I see that I'm behind the defense. I see like today, for example, Madueke was coming from inside to the outside, receiving the ball, trying to beat the player one-on-one. That's a coach's instructions. The problem again is that he plays the wrong place. Like when he did Malo Gusto on the left and Disasi as a right back, and I'm like, I'm questioning my sanity here. I sat and I'm like, how are you thinking like that? That's the only thing. But if you ask me if Chelsea have an identity and a style of play, yes, you do. Because until I think 3 weeks ago, you were the team with the majority of the position in the league. You were second in creating chances. You were third in completing passes, right? That means there is a footprint. There is something that we can see. The problem are the players aren't performing to the level. And he has to be questioned here. I get what you're saying, because if one player isn't performing, we ask the player. But if 10 players aren't performing, now we're going to look at the coaching staff. It's like, you aren't preparing them well. Mentally, they aren't. Why is Thiago Silva slipping? And it's not because of the pitch. Why is Colwell losing focus all the time? Why is Levi Colwell always losing focus? Because he doesn't want to play there. It's very obvious. Is it the player's fault? Might be, might not be. Is it the coach's fault that the two left backs are injured? Well, we don't know that, right? We don't know. Is Ian Matson good enough? Some coaches don't have a favorite, don't have faith in one player. I'm not defending Poch here, but I'm just responding to the fact that you're saying that you don't have a style of play. The stats say otherwise, and my eyes say otherwise. I see patterns of plays. Are the players good enough? Sometimes no, right? His personnel choices are wrong, right? That's one thing. Someone else might choose personnel in the game. He just might put the tactics out and someone else choose the lineups, because I don't think it's working. And I'm going to see the same energy for every club. If you are in the league in game week 20, the question that's for a big football club, if you call yourself a big, the coach has to be sacked. Even though I say there's a style of play, if you lose a couple of more games in the Premier League, he has to be sacked. Just because Chelsea Football Club, after that much money, shouldn't be sitting 10th. The fans shouldn't be going to play Fulham at home not knowing if they're going to win or not. That shouldn't be Chelsea's objective, because that's embarrassing, right?
I agree. We've seen style of play, but the problem is he's not allowed it to be consistent with his changes, like you said, and who he picks. He's not allowed the team to gel. This is a perfect season for him to start gelling partnerships, like centre-back partnerships, midfield and up front. But when he changes, you're only going to get bits and pieces like we've seen. Like Cole Palmer, I thought second half of December played well, but first half, I thought he was rubbish in the first half of December. Even that goal against Man United was a great goal, but his overall performance was rubbish. But that's the point. Why? We said it before. Broja's on a high from scoring at the weekend. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bench him. That will really help his confidence. I know like I said, I'm not a big fan of Broja, but he did the same with Mudryk. And Mudryk's not been the same since at all.
Bro, Mudryk isn't a good Mudryk isn't a good
football
player. Let's just listen. He isn't a good football player, right?
I know.
Oh, come on. He's not a good football
player. He's not. I'm sorry. From a neutral, right? I remember the first time I saw him play. I can remember I was watching this game vividly as well. I think it was Aston Villa. I think it was one of his first starts for Chelsea last year. It was against Aston Villa, right? And on multiple occasions, I saw someone give him a 5-yard pass and him miscontrol it. And one of them actually led to him getting a yellow card because he had to slide tackle to get his touchback. And I was like, yeah, sorry, this is not it. And I remember tweeting, this is not a confidence issue. That's not an issue of adapting to where you like a new league and a new team. This is something that should come to you naturally. Mudryk's touch is absolutely atrocious. I also watched him for Ukraine versus Italy. If Mudryk isn't getting behind you, and if Mudryk doesn't have a standing start and he just kicks it past you and runs, Mudryk is a very, very limited player. He's one of the most limited footballers I think I've ever seen play football, in my opinion. And this is my opinion. I could be wrong. You could disagree, but his qualities are so minimal, like it's unbelievable. But because he's so fast, because he's so fast, he could be effective. But it's just. There's just so little that goes with that pace.
Yeah.
So
I see what you're saying. Let me do this Couple of super chats. Ryan is saying Chelsea fans deserve this pain for continuing to compare obese James to Trent. Alexander-Arnold, my right back, is playing
Your right
at
back can't
Ballon
defend,
d'Or
man. Be
level.
quiet, bro. Your right back can't defend.
Let him finish the super chats here. Let him finish.
Oh, no.
Why you get triggered right away when anybody
Because
thinks
Ryan
anything about
بيحبي
Chelsea,
يحكي.
bro?
كمل يا مو.
I'm waiting for you. JJ Ashraf is saying, super Frank Lampard, and them man was laughing. Arsenal, hold that. Big up Habibi Mo, voice of wisdom. Smash the like. Guys, we have over 300 people here and we're not even on 150 likes. I think that's embarrassing. Get me to 150 likes so we get more people to watch us. Muhammad, like, what is the solution though? So Modric is not a good player. Players aren't performing. You say the coach should stay. What is the solution from an outsider?
I remember when Todd Bowley took over and he had his first transfer window. I was like, this reeks of I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Like nothing made sense. The transfer policy doesn't make sense. Do you know that, like, for example, let me give you an example. I'll use Man City, even though that's the pinnacle of football. You have a style of play. You have and play to play in that style of system, to play that philosophy, right? But you're buying players that don't fit together. Like there's no situation where Mudryk, Madueke, Cole Palmer all fit into a team together and it works. But then you also have Enzo Fernandez, who's a slow pace kind of player. But then you have Caicedo, who's a robust kind of player. But then you want to involve Gallagher heavily. Like nothing that they're doing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. And this is an issue from the top. I feel like Poch's job is impossible. How do you fit all of these different types of profiles together and put a competent team out there? I don't think any manager can do this, especially with you have 11 players, 11 different profiles of players. Even your back four they don't complement each other well. Like the two, in my opinion, the best centre-back pairing, if everything goes well for Chelsea, is Fofana healthy and Levi Colwill developed. In my opinion, that's the best centre-back partnership you can have. But that's probably never going to happen because one of them's playing left-back and one of them's always injured. But I'm just seeing so many different styles and profiles, and it just doesn't make sense. So I don't know how they're going to fix this, because I don't think the owners are capable of building a team good enough. Because I don't know. That's just me. I just don't think they know what they're doing, in my opinion.
Here's the thing. These owners don't want Gallagher at this club. Been trying to sell him since last January. They don't want him. Poch is the one who's putting him in the team. Poch is the one who's playing Colwell at left back when we have three left backs fit when he's playing there. Poch is the one that keeps changing. Now, I understand Badashili was injured, but he keeps constantly changing the centre-back partnership. He's constantly playing Enzo at the 10 and playing Gallagher in the pivot, which doesn't work. To be actually fit to Gallagher,
my initial question, who comes in and changes this? Like, which manager in the world comes into this fire and changes it?
This is what I'm saying. Hang on, Ziad. This is what I'm saying. I don't need a world-class manager. I need a good coach. We're seeing now in the Premier League that coaching matters. We're seeing it at clubs like Bournemouth. We're seeing it at clubs like Wolves. And I don't care what anyone says. And you can scoff, not anyone here, but in the chat. Always Gary. The first thing I hear is Gary O'Neill, and they'll do that. He went in there 6 days before the Premier League started, and you saw his first. He saw his starter playing the first game against Man United. He lost.
Everyone had Wolves going down.
He lost his two. Yeah, I remember he lost his two best midfielders as well, and someone didn't replace them. You got Chan. You got the guy took a bit of a while, but the guy at Bournemouth, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. He started coming in. I'm not asking Eddie Howe. I know he's going through a tough time right now, but the 2 years previously, he totally turned it around at Newcastle. And look at Unai Emery. No one rated those Villa players, half those Villa players a year ago when Steven Gerrard was in charge, and that was an experienced team. Coaching matters. We're seeing it. Coaching matters.
I agree wholeheartedly.
The name for me, everyone's looking for. We need an elite coach. We need but it's all about.
I don't like this name, Andrew. Nobody here is a scout.
No, that's what I mean. I don't. It's
not your job. Why aren't getting paid to find coaches? Chelsea Football Club has a whole structure to find players and coaches.
I was just asking because I mean everyone's got preferences of guys they want to come in. So I just wanted to know where.
Okay. This is
not who you're going to hire right now. This
is where we're back when I'll go on the owners. I blame the owners for who they've hired to help them sort this out. I believe the old mistake on Poch, to get Poch there was through the 2 directs they hired, and then the owners they do the final interview, whatever. I believe, like you said, the previous summer, that was all the owners. If you look at our transfer strategy from that summer to that January transfer window, it completely 180'd, yeah, in who we were trying to buy. So I blame on that. And like I said, most right, I'm not a scout. I don't. If pay me as a scout, and maybe I'll search for you. But I don't know. I just need a coach, because I don't believe these players are being coached, and they need a chance to be coached before I throw them all under the bus and say they're shit.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean?
Can I just need
that. Huh?
Can I just respond to Ziad real quick? Yeah. He said, "Oh, come on, these players aren't shit." Not once did I say these players are shit. By the way, I just said Mudryk is shit. But I didn't say these players are shit. I'm saying they're completely different profiles of players, and I don't see how they fit into a team. Enzo Fernandez is a very good player. Caicedo is a good player. Most of these players are good football players. I think Cole Palmer is absolutely incredible. I think Madueke's got like a lot of potential. I think these players are good players. I just don't see how they fit into a team. That's my point. I think they're good. I just don't see them gelling into a team. That's what I'm saying. Maybe if Andrew's correct and a coach comes in, like a proper coach, and they get coached, then maybe. But I just see a lot of different profiles of players.
Why can't they fit in the team?
I explained. I think there's a lot of players who are completely different profiles of players. You have a few possession.
Wallah, Yamo, I don't know what to say.
No, I'm saying there's a
but
few
he's
players.
telling you, Muhammad Salah.
It's not to Muhammad. It's just in general. I'm lost for words. I don't know what to say.
I've never seen
Let me ask anybody here a real question, right? Like a real question.
Because like to just answer his question.
Oh yeah, go ahead. If
you have some players which are possession-based players. You have some players who are direct players. You have some players who are counter-attacking players. You've got players like Sterling, who are players that usually get on the end of things, but you're asking them to create for you. It's just there's just so much going on.
Yes, I agree with you.
That's so that's the point I'm trying to make. You don't have, like, if you were to say you want to play a style of football which is high octane, press up the pitch, you might not have the players for that. You might have 2 or 3 players for that, but you don't have a squad of players for that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's the point I'm trying to make. There's just a lot of different profiles and a lot of things going on.
Can I ask a question for Ziad or Nina to answer this, or even Andrew? Yin Kong is saying Chelsea Middlesbrough 1-0 today. Today is a good day. Clearly you aren't a Chelsea fan, but thank you for the support, guys. Get your questions in. But my question for the people here: are Chelsea players overrated?
Some of them are overpriced.
Overpriced, yeah. I agree.
Overrated.
Hold on. But that's the thing, bro. Because when you buy a player with that much, the expectations are 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
And you think they are 9 out of 10, but maybe they are just a 6 or a 7 out of 10 player. That's what I mean. That's what I mean overrated. When I mean overrated, people take overrated wrong. I can say that some Arsenal fans overrate Saka, for example, or Saliba. When they say Saliba's this or that, or Saka, that doesn't mean Saka's bad. I'm not saying Cole Palmer's bad, but some people just literally thought that Cole Palmer is a ready-made player that can take over the team.
Yeah, you know what it is when you're
I think Cole Palmer's excellent.
When you're down this bad, you look for any sort of light. Do you know what I mean? And Cole Palmer has been that throughout. People say Gallagher's our best player this year. It's been Cole Palmer. It's not even close. It's Cole Palmer's been our best player this year. But are some of them overrated? I think for what some Chelsea fans may have expected, they probably did overrate them. I mean, people getting on Colwell right now, but is it really fair to get on Colwell? If you discuss him as a left back, yeah, he's rubbish as a left back. But he's not a left back. Like you say, that's why I'm saying I need a coaching, because I need to know whether these players are overrated or not. Do you know what I mean? I need them to be given a fair shake. But you're right though, because even with bringing a new coach, some of the fundamentals should be there. Like Caicedo for the first goal today, he shouldn't have to be told to stick with the runner, not for 100% of the run, and just drop off. He didn't need to do that at Brighton. Do you know what I mean? He did it at Brighton. Even playing at right back, he did it at Brighton. So it's just some of them are overrated, but I don't think it's like overrated so much because they've been dealt a good hand. You know, if I could say, you know, Saka, people might be saying Martinelli and Saka are overrated. I don't think they are overrated.
I actually think all Chelsea players are overrated.
See, the thing is,
every single one.
I feel like I don't care what market
Define
it is.
overrated, Mo.
I don't care. It's just
Define
you know what it is. I feel like what Mo said at the beginning. When you cost that much, you expect a certain amount of production, right?
I'm
I
gonna
don't care
explain what I
how
mean
inflated
overrated.
the market is. I don't care how much players are going for. Under no circumstances should Moises Caicedo be the most expensive midfield player. Under no circumstances. And this goes back to my initial point. It reeks of we have no idea what we are doing. They're trying to outshine everyone. It's a pissing contest, in my opinion. Enzo Fernandez, the shiny new toy that just won the World Cup. We need to pay £125 million for a midfielder who we have no idea how we are going to fit him into this team. So it's ridiculous to have
he performed last season.
A $250 million.
I mean, what do we perform in my ass?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I can't.
Performing,
this is what I'm not gonna take. Yeah, I'm not gonna take you lot shitting on our players.
Oh my God.
all of a sudden, Enzo Fernandez is overrated. Caicedo's overrated. Palmer's
You don't understand.
Yeah, Habib, we're talking about we're talking about
Nina.
players here,
Nina
man.
asked an objective question. She said, "Define overrated," so she can respond. You just got rattled.
I'm not. I am. Of course, I'm fucking rattled. We just lost in fucking Middlesbrough,
You just got rattled, bro.
Of course, I'm fucking rattled.
She put me on the spot. She said, "Define overrated," so I can respond to you. You're like, "I'm not taking shit about my players." I'm like, just
but the reason you're calling them overrated is because of the way Pochettino is using them.
No, they were overrated from the day you bought them.
If Liverpool got Caicedo, he would have been overrated.
Ziad, where do you rate Caicedo in defensive midfielders in the world?
Oh, he's one of the best in the league. League. Enzo and Caicedo were supposed to be probably the best partnership in the league.
Yes,
they were supposed to be.
That's you know what? Nina, this is the definition of overrated.
It's not overrated. It's not.
See what he said? See what he said? It's the definition of overrating your players.
It's not overrated.
What he just
said. That
name me a midfield that Caicedo and Enzo don't start for.
Well, okay. Oh wait. I didn't need to answer. Ziad literally answered for me. The way he said that is the definition of someone overrating a football player.
It's not overrated.
You mean before they
in my honest opinion,
the man said before they even hit the ball, this should be the best midfield.
Okay. On paper, what's wrong with that? On paper, that should be
not based on what on paper. What have you seen? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Even based on what I've seen,
potential. We overpaid for potential.
No, of course we overpaid.
Yeah, okay, thank you. But potential doesn't mean they are now the best midfielders in the league.
It doesn't, but they were meant to be. That's it.
This season,
here's where I agree.
Yes, on paper, this is on paper. Enzo and Caicedo. Name me a better midfield.
Maybe I said that as well.
Name me a better midfield. Yalla, Muhammad. Name me a better midfield.
I saw the light.
Top three.
The difference is I saw the light. Maybe I was like you, Ziad, but I saw the light.
Mo, name me a better midfield, ya habibi. Name me a better midfield.
The thing is, with me, I have a problem with the foundation of this entire conversation. What did you guys see?
Okay, let me ask you this.
I was even gonna say in Arabic. I'm not even Arabic. I was gonna say I have a problem with the asl, like the initial found. Like what even? What
baby, how much did Liverpool bid for Caicedo?
Thank you. That is exactly what my point was about.
If you know,
how much did Liverpool bid for Caicedo?
Liverpool. If you know anything about Liverpool, they knew they were going to lose that bid. They
do me a favor, man. Allow me, man. Allow me, man.
Listen.
This is ridiculous, man. This is what Pochettino's done to our players. No, fuck it. Poch out, man. I've had enough, man. I've had enough. Wallah, I've had enough.
Okay,
no, I can't do this. I am a fucking Chelsea fan. My whole life has been winning shit, and now we're questioning Enzo fucking Fernandez and Caicedo. You having a laugh?
Based on 6 months at Benfica and a World Cup, a player should have been bought for 125
million. And what he did at Chelsea. And what he did at Chelsea last season. Yes. And what he did at last season. Well, you said you don't watch Chelsea.
Enzo actually
performed very well.
Players last season.
That's
he was only
crazy.
there for
last season, he came from a World Cup and he still performed well.
The thing is, I don't even have a problem with Enzo Fernandez.
My
issue is paying £150 million for a ball winner.
And you want us to believe you.
Nah, baby, it's up to you. I asked you 5 times. Name me a better midfield than Enzo and Caicedo.
I can name you multiple midfielders.
Yes, can answer. But can you get off the stage?
Papa Matasar and Basuma are significantly better than Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in the Premier League, especially this season.
Stage. Okay, hold on. Can I see the difference? My thing about it, Ziad, is that I change my conclusion when I see things. This is how I learn. This is why I'm a scientist, right? Enzo and Caicedo, they looked good on paper, but 20 games in the Premier League now, at the moment. I saw Enzo last season. I didn't see what you guys paid for that much. Enzo is a good player. He's just better than Jorginho a little bit, in my opinion. Okay, that's
Andrew, you having a laugh, Andrew?
I'm being serious. A little
I'm
bit
letting
better
him land. I'm letting him land.
Okay. The second thing is that Caicedo, based on the numbers, let me just
nominee
finish.
Jorginho. Don't do that.
Can I just finish?
Nominee Jorginho that won the Euros and the Champions League in the same year.
He's
Jorginho.
better than Zinz. You think Jorginho is better than Enzo?
I don't think he's touched. I don't think he's got the potential to be better than Jorginho. I don't think he's better than Jorginho now.
No,
way.
I haven't landed. Okay, I am allowed to land.
He's better than Jorginho.
I'm allowed to land.
I can't.
All right? I'm allowed.
What
to
you lot think Enzo Fernandez is
Oh
better
my
than peak
God,
Jorginho?
wallahi,
You lot think Enzo Fernandez has reached that peak yet? Come on, you lot are having a laugh. You lot are having a laugh. If you think Mo, come back, man. What's going on?
Andrew, turn your camera off, mate. Yeah, turn it off.
I want to say that second word. Oh, yeah.
Nina. Oh, turn it off.
Okay, Chelsea fans, turn your cameras off. Let me land the point.
I'll go on mute.
Listen, bro. Let me land. Can I land the point?
Yes.
So Caicedo, based on last year, was a very good midfielder. The second in tackles, interceptions, seconds in a lot of stats, right?
Mhm.
But after I watched him some games at Chelsea, I realized maybe that was De Zerbi getting 150% out of his 100% ability. Like Pep Guardiola did with Pedro, like Pep Guardiola did with Raheem Sterling, like because some coaches are just like that. They get 150% out of the player. I am changing my conclusion because I'm watching football and I'm watching Caicedo. This Caicedo isn't the same Caicedo that played for De Zerbi last year. This Enzo Fernandez probably is different than the Enzo that we saw for a short time with Benfica.
Okay, but Caicedo was playing in a well-flourished system that De Zerbi had at Brighton last season. This season is so different at Chelsea. You know, we don't have a system. This is what I keep saying. It's much easier to take out a player, put him in this team, and say, well, where is that player? You know, Enzo and Caicedo are still literally getting to know each other. That's what I keep saying. Yes, we put them up there to be one of the best partnerships in the Premier League. Maybe that's where your point of they're overrated comes from. But, you know, even back in January, like when we signed Enzo Fernandez, not a single Chelsea fan, and like agree with me, both of you Chelsea fans, if you disagree with me, but not a single one of us complained at Enzo's price tag when transfer deadline day hit and we were hit with the British record fee signing 120 million Enzo Fernandez. Not a single one of us complained because at that time we thought it was worth it. We looked at our midfield, we said midfield is overdue refreshment, we need this. And then Caicedo, we said we'll add to Enzo's game. You know, we said Enzo Fernandez will be able to push up a little bit more, you know, Caicedo can cover more ground behind him, etc., etc. And that still hasn't flourished. You know, I believe that Enzo and Caicedo, what was the first game they played together? Because I believe Enzo was injured at first, then Caicedo came in.
I think he came on against West Ham, didn't he, Caicedo? But
yes, and that was a horrible game. It was a horrible debut for him. Bless him.
One of your Egyptian fans just said Enzo Fernandez is not even better than Mohamed Al Neni, by the way. And I'm
Okay. This is my problem with you, yeah, because this is what you've caused.
What is your problem with me?
This is what you've caused. Okay? This is what you've caused. Okay, like I said, you go in the summer on paper, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, like it or not, one of the best midfielders in the league. Okay, you said yourself.
Enzo, Caicedo, yes. Enzo, no.
Tayyip, forget Enzo for a second. You said yourself, if Caicedo went to Liverpool, they would have won the league.
Yes, I said that.
You said Tayyip. So why? 5 months later, because of the manager, the way he set up the team, all of a sudden the guy's overrated. All of a sudden he's
because there's new information. We've seen Caicedo.
It's not about new information, bro. It's not about new information. You don't jump from making one of the best teams in the world title contenders to all of a sudden you're overrated. This is from the manager. So what would be what is more surprising? What would be more surprising to you?
You go to college, bro.
The manager. Are you thinking the manager is not getting the best out of him, or he's just overrated? Which one is more likely? The way Chelsea are playing right now.
I don't think Caicedo. I don't think any ball winner ever is worth what you guys paid for Caicedo. I think he's
But they're
primarily a
not.
ball
That's
winner.
Declan Rice went for the same price.
Declan Rice is much more than just a ball winner, by the way. Declan Rice is a transformative.
Caicedo can go forward as well. He's not just a
type
ball
of player.
winner.
Come on, man, let's not do
Caicedo's
that.
not just a ball winner. He can go forward.
I thought the same thing about Declan Rice, but then seeing Declan Rice at Arsenal, I've seen new information say, okay, maybe yes, this guy is a different caliber.
Yeah, me too. I changed my opinion about him after watching the guy play football for
Yeah.
a position.
By the way, Enzo and Caicedo dominated Rice.
And also, let me remind you that before
I
Declan
mean,
Rice,
I remember McTominay dominated Caicedo and Enzo. What does that say? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't think Caicedo played that game, did he?
before
They
Declan
both
Rice,
played. They
Arsenal
both
also
played.
wanted Caicedo, by the way. So what, would they not have been challenging for the title? Would Caicedo not have been good enough for Arsenal?
Okay,
But this is what's
Caicedo
funny.
is
Mo,
upgrade.
you said, so if you're saying he would have challenged Liverpool for the title, it would have helped them challenge.
He would have
you clearly
improved
rate the player.
Liverpool.
But
No,
you
but
clearly
Liverpool-
rate the player then.
I do.
So all of so you rate him, but now all of a sudden because of Pochettino's terrorism, the guy's
but
overrated.
see the difference between me and you. I actually started this stream saying that you have a system. See,
What
you
system?
don't
Yeah,
want to
halal.
hear that.
What system?
Exactly.
What system?
I literally
Because
gave you
even
freaking evidence.
Even the Premier League games that we've recently played, even today, if we won them, it's just paper over covering. What's the word? Paper over the cracks or whatever it is. Like it's not good enough. Because even me, I said a few weeks ago, fuck the performances. As long as we get wins, it's fine. But not this bad. I'm sorry, you can't be this
I
bad.
am not. Who comes this bad? Pochettino or Caicedo?
Pochettino, not fucking Caicedo, Habibi.
Caicedo
Leave
isn't
Caicedo alone.
good enough.
Of course, he's more than good enough. He's more than good enough. Him and Enzo is more than good enough. Because you said that yourself. If Caicedo can go and challenge Liverpool for a title, that means you knew he was a good player.
Can I
mean, you
explain
knew
that,
it.
by the way? I feel like you're okay. The reason that Caicedo could have gone to Liverpool and helped them challenge for a title is because he is an upgrade on Endo, right? Liverpool are about 5% away from winning the league, so he could have been the difference to push them over the top. Caicedo isn't a player you bring in to transform your midfield, which is what Chelsea brought him in to do. Caicedo can be the cherry on the top to be like a glue. Does that make sense? But you guys,
is he not one of the best midfielders in the league then?
Sorry,
is he not? Is he not one of the best midfielders?
Is he one of the best midfielders this season, Taibes? Yeah.
Habibi, see, this is your problem. You're going from this season, and then Mo is talking about what he could have done in the summer. How's he going to transform?
No, but he's been
Liverpool.
in the Premier League for a season. He's been here for 18 months. How can he be the Premier League?
Based on last season, and the reason we bought Habibi, Mo, the reason we bought him was on last season. Yeah, that's the reason we bought him, and the potential that he can go. The guy is 21. So tell me, based off last season, and the reason why we bought Caicedo was not one of the best midfielders in the league.
He just turned 23, right?
22.
We bought him. He was 21. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Can I ask you? Yeah.
Mo, 1 second. I need to land this. In the summer, okay, in the summer when we bought him, and the reason we bought him is because of how he performed in the previous season. Was he not one of the best in the league?
Yes.
So one of the best in the league, one of the best midfielders in the league, all of a sudden is cherry on the ice or whatever the fuck you just said on the cake, whatever, instead of being a transforming midfield. We had bloody Mason Mount. Who else do we have? Nina and Mason Mount, Jorginho,
Kai Havertz,
and covers Kai Havertz, bro. So we go from that to bloody what's his name, Caicedo. All of a sudden, he doesn't transform on midfield.
Which is why I go back to the manager.
Come on, man. Come on, and this is what I said. This is why I just screamed Pochettino out, because the manager, the way he's dealing with his players, is making you lot go mad. He's making you lot your neutral, and you're making you lose your mind.
Do you know the beautiful thing about these streams is like they're gonna be on the internet for a very, very long time. So when a new manager comes in and Caicedo is still like, okay, cool, why am I not seeing what I saw at Brighton? You will realize. I mean, I tweeted this on September the 2nd. I just saw this. Caicedo was a product of De Zerbi. There are multiple midfielders you could have put in that position next to McAllister, with Pascal Gross, with Mitoma, that would have given you the exact same output that Caicedo gave you last year. And I guarantee you that. And you can see that this year too. With the same as Brighton. I mean, it's just those. So unless you're gonna get a manager like De Zerbi for the specific reason of getting the best out of Moses Caicedo, fair enough. Right, but Moises Caicedo isn't a player you buy for 150 million to transform your midfield, because he is a product of a system. Because every time we've seen him not be in that system, he's not been as good. We watched him for Ecuador. Yes, he was a fantastic ball winner, but progressing the ball and all of these things that we saw at Brighton, we didn't see it.
Brighton are worse this year.
Yeah, Brighton are significantly worse because Brighton have like
Right.
11 injuries.
Because he hasn't replaced.
No,
because he hasn't
Brighton
replaced
are
Caicedo.
one of the most injured teams in the Premier
I'm not
League.
having this injury
If we're gonna have a
excuse.
genuine
Everyone's had
Can I
injury.
conversation,
ask you guys? Can I
We,
ask a simple
everyone's
we,
had
question?
we get mocked
Ziad,
for spending $1 billion. 500 million of that is
you
injured,
have to get mocked for spending $1 billion. Yani,
and half of that is injured. Are we going to sit and blame injuries?
let me ask you something.
Exactly.
What is
Never 60 million. Lavia 60 million.
when you bought Caicedo? Okay, before
Yeah.
you do that, I need to do this couple of super chats. Andy's saying Liverpool fan here. In my opinion, Chelsea should loan Henderson for leadership.
that would be so funny, by the way.
We've already
Do you know
got
how
his.
funny it would be?
We've already got his blonde-haired younger equivalent. Why would we need him?
I had this argument this morning with Goonian about Henderson versus Thiago Silva when you got him, and people get mad, but the truth hurts. Omar Rushd is saying Ziad Endo doing more Liverpool than Enzo.
Because he's got Klopp.
Chelsea, Habibi. Yeah, because he got Klopp. But let me ask everybody here a question. And guys, there's over 350 of you here. Thanks for the people that joined from, of course, United Spurs of America, from Jacob. So hit that like button. Get us to 200 likes. What does Caicedo excel at when you bought it? Nina, when you bought Caicedo, what were you looking for in that player? Is it defensive ability or position-based football? What were you looking for? I'm like, yeah, this guy's going to come in and he's going to have excel in this attribute.
Yeah, definitely defensive ability first and foremost. Also, sort of longer ranges of passes, and I think he's offered that. I think as he's grown into he's got more comfortable as the games have gone by. I think he's gotten better at doing that, and I think still what we're waiting for is that Enzo and Caicedo sort of partnership. And I think partly why we wanted Caicedo so bad was to complement Enzo more, because we'd already signed Enzo. I recognized that Enzo was missing that partner in midfield. I never liked Gallagher in the pivot with him, and I thought Caicedo would do that much better. So I think from that standpoint of view, that is exactly what we wanted. And I'd say again, it's inconsistency. We've got it in some games. It's not been the same in other games. And I think maybe physically he does struggle a little bit. I do think he gets pushed off the ball a bit too easily at times, and obviously with a very physical sort of midfield in the Premier League, it's hard on him sometimes. But yeah, I think obviously again it's going to come back to the price tag, and I don't want to circle round and round, but I still think Caicedo's got so much more to show, and I think we will get it. And again, people are forgetting that he's 21? Is he 21 or 20?
21.
He's 21 years old.
Very young.
He's still so young. Exactly. Thank you very much. And I only wish that recruitment never did this to him. I wish his price tag was never bumped up this much, because it's always going to come down to, oh, this is your 110 million signing, dropping this stinker when he's going to have a bad game. And that's the thing. Like, that's why I hate the fact that we overprice so many of these players, because they will be under more scrutiny inevitably just because of the price tag. It will always come round to that. And unfortunately, that's just football nowadays. But I still think he's got so much more to his game, and maybe the manager hasn't unlocked his best ability, maybe. But yeah, I think Enzo and Caicedo is something we should just continue on pushing for. But you know what? Guess what? That's going to change again, isn't it? Because Lavia is now nearly going to be fit too in a few weeks, and when he is, we'll see another change. Maybe we'll see a midfield of 3. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know, man. I actually don't know.
This is the problem. Chelsea's just a mess.
It's
Too many individual mistakes, too many injuries, too managers fucking about too much. We're shit in the league. This is why, look, I think he has to go. I think Pochettino, as simple as that, he has to go. It's unacceptable. Like you said, Mo, we're 10th. Unacceptable for Chelsea.
That's the only reason why I would be sitting here with you and I would tell you, yes, he has to
but
go.
the way he's managed players, he hasn't been good enough. Colwell left back, we know he's not good enough there. The way, like we're talking about now, Enzo Caicedo, they're on paper in the summer, they were supposed to be one of the best in the league. They're both underperforming. Cole Palmer is good one game, shit the other game. You know, Sterling inconsistent. Everyone's inconsistent. His comments stink. You know, we're getting wins. We're not even playing that well, which I said was a fine, but to a certain extent. So
he's a loser.
And you know what? It might be unfair to him, but I can't deal with what we did last season. I can't be 10th.
He's a loser.
I can't. So sorry, mate. Poch, salam ala abuk. You gotta go, mate.
Bit harsh on Palmer though, no? I think apart from today, he's not been as bad as he's not been bad. He's been our most consistent player, and that's saying something. And you know what? I think that this really reiterates where we're at as a club right now, because we brought in Palmer. Palmer was a signing that no one really blinked at twice in summer. 40 million was it we paid for him?
He's a good player.
He's a good player.
I like
He's
him
a
a
brilliant
lot,
player.
man.
Didn't he score in like 2 finals for Man City? Didn't he? I'm pretty sure he scored for 2.
Super Cup and Community Shield. We don't call it final.
Well, still,
yeah, he was bad today, but to be honest with you, the guy has talent at his feet.
Yeah.
He just have an agenda. Like
Palmer is probably a bit.
But my problem is Palmer with all this talent. And sorry to interject, Nina. I'm just let you speak. He needed to be an understudy. Like he needed to be.
Yes, that's
like he needed to be.
That's exactly
with a more experienced person. Like he shouldn't have all this pressure on his shoulder. You have to lead us.
Mo, you spoke my mind. That's exactly where I was going with that. We brought him in as someone that was meant to add more depth to our front line, you know, someone that we could maybe rotate, because no one had a clue what sort of player we were getting in our squad yet. And I think it's both sad and I'm happy as a Chelsea fan that there's been so much responsibility placed on this one player that arrived in summer to be the difference maker in our games. You know, we literally are placing all of our faith in this one player that we brought in as just a simple addition to add more depth to our attack. Yeah,
I agree, and that says a lot about other players not stepping up, not taking ownership. That's a problem as well. The manager, a proper manager, would hold them responsible, even himself, at this point about what they're doing. You're right. Cole Palmer should have been understudy, and that's the Nkuku problem of him being injured. Nkuku's the more experienced player, but he can't stay fit.
I don't think you guys can afford. I don't think you guys can afford to play one or the other if they're both healthy. I feel like you guys are lacking so much in the final third that with Palmer playing the way he is, you're going to need both of them to be playing for Chelsea to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do well in games.
But I think you can be an understudy and still play in the same team.
Oh, fair. That's fair.
You could be the Robin to the Batman. Do you know what I mean? Like that. You could be that. That's what I'm saying. You could do that, but the problem is
that's why Raheem Sterling was supposed to take the hand.
Exactly, he's not taking ownership. Him and Thiago Silva don't take ownership. When Chelsea fans talk about heads going down, they're the first two.
But Raheem Sterling was never that player, though.
No, like, that's the problem as well.
Raheem Sterling was never a player that takes the game by the scruff of the neck and wins it for you. He might get important goals for you by being in the right position. He might do a good dribble or create a good chance, but he was never that player that has the onus of the full responsibility.
No, he's the guy who finishes off the move. We've seen it before at City so many times. That's why he got so many goals. Okay, and I don't mind that. I have 20 of them a season tap-ins, no problem. Stuff like that. But when you ask him to do a bit more, and we've seen it at City, seen it at Chelsea, seen it for England, when you overload the mind, it shuts down. Do you know what I mean? He can't take it, and that's the problem with it as well. But then he's got so much experience now. Is that how you have to give him? You have to make him take ownership because he's 29. We're not talking about another 19-year-old. He's 29, and Thiago Silva the same. He's been magnificent, yeah, but he's won. You know, the way he should have taken captaincy when that three quarters of that defense speak French anyway, and he can speak that. So it's just one thing after. There's no one set problem. Even the manager's not a one set problem. It's a multiple things adding together that deliver us this shit every week. That's what it is.
It is, Andrew. You're right. It's meant, like I said, it's a big mess. Players inconsistency, manager, players injured. That's all a mess. But who's the one person you look to try and put it together? It has to be the manager.
He should.
It has to be. The manager's got to sort them out. The manager's got to get consistency out of them. The manager's got to take accountability and understand where he's gone wrong.
He's first to get the praise. All managers are first to get the praise when the team's doing well. So
Tuchel walked in and took accountability for everything they done wrong.
He changed the style. Today
the game was on me. The tactics, I got them wrong. Substitutions, I got them wrong.
I guess there's different caliber of managers, isn't it? Because Tuchel's like one of the best.
What Chelsea have to. This is what Chelsea.
Tuchel's one of the best in the world and has been one of the best. I think like there's different, like the calibers of managers are completely different.
But we've had it even like Potter. The same with my man with Poch. I don't think they understand what kind of club they're at.
I feel like the kind of club that Chelsea are and the kind of club that Chelsea have been. Even though Andrew made a great point where you need a good coach to come and coach these players. I feel like the person who's leading Chelsea should be like an alpha type.
And Poch isn't. Poch is
And
not
like the Mourinhos, the Contes, like those kind of like spearheading the media, like that's the kind of football club Chelsea are. Like just naturally, that's how Chelsea. When Chelsea have been successful, it's been those kind of managers.
Someone who walks in and everyone takes notice.
Exactly, Tommy Tuchel, Antonio Conte,
doesn't even say a word.
Jose Mourinho. These project managers won't work at Chelsea, in my opinion.
They have to hire Antonio Conte. He is the man. He is the man. But to put everybody on the same line, they're gonna put them on the wall.
I don't know who I would want.
Should we take Inzaghi, Mo? Should we take Inzaghi? You let us have Inzaghi? Or?
He wouldn't leave that now because he's about to win the league.
You're about to win.
Listen, bro.
It's about to be his first ever league. So why would he leave?
But this is my problem. I have to have someone. I have to have someone that's when you like even.
Mo,
Zerbi, you're not gonna like it, Andrew, but the Zerbi, the guy from Sporting, all that, I don't think I would even be happy with them.
I need winners. I need winners, man.
I need a serial winner. I know someone that's.
Can I ask you something, Ziad? Why would a serial winner come to Chelsea? Unless you can offer him a lot of money.
So why have all these great players?
Who's going to want to come to Chelsea? I feel like.
But why do these players?
Managers have egos. Managers have egos.
Hold on, Ziad.
Especially when they know.
Don't ask that question, Ziad, because the answer you don't like it.
No,
you don't like the answer.
Your answer is wrong. Your answer is wrong. Your answer is wrong. We've got one of the lowest wage bills in the league.
Okay, listen, my answer isn't wrong. My answer isn't to your liking, right? And I'm not claiming that my answer is right, but it's the logical answer. Right? When you offer a player an 8-year contract and to secure their future, they will go to your club. They will absolutely ignore everything around and they will go to your club. That's a fact, bro.
So
that's in life.
What's the length of the contract?
Everybody offers me a guaranteed future, like Caicedo, for example. Yes, you did the leg work and all that, and I'm not gonna go into what happened in the summer, right? Me and you spoke in the summer about this, right? When you offer a player an 8-year contract, he will definitely choose your club, right? That doesn't mean your project is better or worse than the other projects, right? But that has to be the main reason why a player will join your club.
I don't see that as a reason.
Okay, Mo, if Caicedo went to Liverpool, what's the length of contract he would have got?
4 years max.
5.
4 years max.
Max.
It's gonna be 5.
5 years.
It would have been 5. It would have been 5, Mo. It would have been 5
with an addition.
So don't give me this rubbish about he's only coming because we're offering 3 more years.
I am not saying.
Maybe 1 second. At 20, 21
Wigan. See that you're taking it always to the extreme. I'm not saying you're Wigan, right? But looking at Chelsea versus Liverpool, who was more attractive in the summer? Can someone sit here and tell me with a straight face that Chelsea were more attractive?
Habibi, Bowley and them, they're the one selling the model.
She's like, yeah.
Habibi, the same reason Osimhen is going to pick us over Arsenal. You're going to ask me the same thing.
You're going to pay him 3 times more than Arsenal are going to pay.
How much you want to bet we won't?
I guarantee you will.
Go on. I guarantee you will.
By the way,
I guarantee you he will be on normal money. I guarantee you.
By the way,
the 300k a week.
The point that you just made about Chelsea having one of the lowest wage bills in the Premier League is factually incorrect. I'm just looking at it now. You have the 4th highest wage bill in the Premier League after Man United, Man City, and Arsenal, by the way.
No, but we cut wages big time.
Yeah, no, and that's why you're 4th and not 1st. You've cut. That's why you're 4th and not 1st.
Ziad red-handed because Mohamed Salah is here for facts.
Baby, what facts? Tell me how much Caicedo's on.
He's got the factual book out.
Tell me how much Caicedo's on.
It's right there.
Tell me how much Caicedo's on.
Wage bill, then it's Manchester City, then it's Arsenal, and then it's Chelsea.
Why would players look?
Tell me how much Caicedo's on then.
I can tell you how much Caicedo's on.
Go on, tell me, please.
Google's incredible, bro. I'll tell you for free, bro.
So tell me, you're telling me we're gonna pay Osimhen 3 times more than what Arsenal are gonna pay?
I'm not obviously not 3 times. Obviously,
yeah, well, I know that, but how much did Arsenal give Kai Havertz?
280.
Something.
Dahib, how many players? Go on, please tell me how much Caicedo's on.
Okay, so you genuinely think that Caicedo sat down with
Habibi, I'm not in the boardroom. I don't know.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know the selling project.
Ziad, I'm asking you logically. You are someone who is sitting with Caicedo in the summer. Liverpool come knocking. Chelsea come knocking at your door.
This is not career mode, Jamal. This is not career mode. This is not.
Yeah, see, you don't want to answer the question. Okay, you know what?
It's not about.
Get off the stage. Get off the stage.
This is not career mode. This is not career mode. End of the day, No, Mo, because the fact is, the
Convince
people
me.
I'll tell you, the people at the top, their job is to sell the project to the players. If you just can't believe that Chelsea are not selling the project good enough, then that's up to you. It's not my problem. This is not career mode or Liverpool or Chelsea.
I don't care about that. I'm asking Europe. You are on
You can't. You
that
have to
channel
care.
yourself. I am not here with Chelsea's back room. I'm not here with the vice president of the business development at Chelsea Football Club. I'm here with Ziad, Nina, and Andrew Surfer, right? I'm here with you guys, right? I'm asking you, in the summer, right? Do you think if both clubs offered the same amount of money, right? You are telling me that Chelsea looked more attractive than Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Why is that? Convince
I
me.
don't see why
is
not.
that?
I don't see why not.
In the
Because
summer.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I can answer why not, and then you can debate my points.
Okay, go for
Unless
it.
you want to tell me why. Don't tell me why not, because I will answer why not. But I'm asking you first. Convince me why Chelsea were more attractive than Arsenal or Liverpool or anybody else.
Because in summer, things after Frank Lampard and Graham Potter left would have been a lot more fresh. This project was just beginning again, restart. Pochettino was walking through the door in summer. Everyone was very excited. He had that really good interview where he sold this whole world of Chelsea fans a dream about where he would take us. But anyways, besides the point, if he was to talk to him about this project and, you know, tell him where Chelsea were meant to be, lock him in for about, 8 years? Did Caicedo sign 7 or 8 years?
8 years.
8 years, yes. I'm pretty sure he also was a Chelsea fan, or he was pictured with the Chelsea.
Nina, your
Let her
argument.
finish.
One sec, let me just ask her a question really quickly because she's on the Pochettino thing.
She's telling us the story.
Why couldn't it simply be that he believed in this project and he wanted to be part of it?
Yeah, of course. Of course, he wanted to be part of it at the end, but the money made a big factor. But I'm just asking, how is it that Chelsea were more attractive, where the club was in disarray?
This is what you don't. This is what I
Can
can't.
ask you guys a question?
I can't give you a better answer than they are selling him the project. I can't give you a better answer.
All right then.
Yeah,
can I please ask you guys a question? Because Nina, your argument was based on Pochettino selling him a project. Can you look anyone in the face?
Bring him in. Huh?
No, I'm just saying. You're saying your argument, your point, and your soliloquy was that Pochettino sat him down and told him this.
He didn't.
It's the owners. I'm talking about the owners. When I say the board, I'm talking about the owners.
But I'm saying, can you look anyone in the face and say anyone at Chelsea now is more charismatic than Jurgen Klopp? Like the project that Jurgen Klopp can sell you. The project of Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Van Dijk, and I mean, like, there's under no circumstances can you convince us that Chelsea is more attractive than Liverpool.
Not been a successful club for 20 years, yeah, because Chelsea's not been a successful club for 20 years, and we're talking about recently though, because anyone that looks at Chelsea why recently? If we've been successful for the last 20 years,
because he's coming now.
Young players, that he's 21. He's probably grown up watching Chelsea lift trophies. Why wouldn't that be attractive to a player? He just had a preference. He believed in the project. He came to Chelsea. He turned down Klopp in person.
Very objective. To be honest, what she just said is very objective. She said that he's a Chelsea, maybe a Chelsea fan. He grew up watching Chelsea lifting trophies, and he wanted to be a Chelsea player. And when he got offered the chance, he joined the club. Fine. I can buy into this.
And this money thing, I've just checked the same website, yeah? Caicedo's on the same money as Gravenberch. Gravenberch, like, does anyone know who that is?
Yeah, Gravenberch.
It's Liverpool.
Yeah, I know you know it.
No,
but I mean in terms of like Caicedo and Gravenberch.
That is about...
So no, this money BS that you like to show off, or this 8-year contract, Liverpool would have given them the same amount of money.
That's not true. That's not true, because
the guy's on 150k a week. Are we going to act like 150k
over the course? I've just looked at it, right? By the way, like, it's in front of me. Over the course of his contract, Caicedo is set to make £72 million. Right?
Okay, I'm going to go back to the point of a 5-year contract and an 8-year contract. So you're telling me he joined us for 3 more years at Chelsea? as a 20-year-old, as a
30
21-year-old.
million more. Yeah, I think 30 million
So
pounds.
no, he would have got the same. He would have got the same
Why
money.
does it always have to be about money, though? Why
don't
do you
understand.
not think that players?
Because there's no footballing reason for you to join Chelsea.
How do you
over
know?
Liverpool.
How do you
There is
know?
no footballing
We
reason
don't
currently.
know. Habibi, we don't know.
No.
The
I'm
board
saying
are selling the project.
at this moment in time, there is zero footballing reason apart from what you
We
could
would have-
potentially be.
So why did Enzo Fernandez join us,
We're
Habibi?
building a squad around
Because you are the only club in the world silly enough to pay 125 million for Enzo Fernandez. The only club that was interested in Enzo Fernandez for that price. The only club. There is no footballing reason at this present moment in time that you would join Chelsea over Liverpool. None whatsoever, apart from money and maybe
if you want to believe that, that's your opinion.
potential and what you could maybe be in the future. That's it. The only two things that you guys can tell me are money and what we might be able to be in the future. But footballing on the pitch, in that rectangle on the football pitch between the lines, no reason you join Chelsea over Liverpool. None whatsoever.
Listen, that's fine. That's your
But
opinion.
there's always a risk when players get locked into that long of a deal, especially at a club that chops and changes a manager every 1 year. There's always a risk that that next manager is going to walk through that door and they're not going to play you. You're going to be sat on the bench. So you're also taking that into consideration when you're signing that contract. Is that not a factor?
I mean, your contract is your contract. It doesn't depend on the manager. You're going to get paid your 75 million
you might not
regardless.
play if that manager gets sacked. And
You think players? Okay,
a
lot of these players don't really care whether they play or not because they know they're going to outlast most managers. Yeah. If you have an 8-year, okay, the lifespan of a manager at Chelsea is about, at the moment, it's about 6 months. You know that you're going to outlast about 4 managers if you sign that contract. So whether this manager plays you or not doesn't really bother you because you know the next one probably will.
Because he's good enough. He's a good enough player to be playing. Hence
why
Liverpool wants to pay 100 million for him.
Not point. My point. There's no boring reason you join Liverpool or Chelsea over Liverpool at this present moment in time. Nothing.
Listen, we're talking about we signed him in the summer. Okay, we signed him in the summer. End of the day, like I told Mo, we're not in the boardroom. I can't tell you what Bowley and Akbali are promising this guy and what they think the project is for the next 10 years. I can't promise you that. So you can sit here in your opinion and say Liverpool are miles ahead of Chelsea. That's fine. But it wasn't too long ago we were going toe to toe in every single game. We were there with Tuchel going 2 finals in a row and they beat us on bloody penalties. So I mean, I don't know, as if we're fucking Arsenal who don't win anything.
I mean, that was when you
another
owners. No one.
What do you mean competent owners? We were we had to fucking walk to games, bro. We had to walk from Stamford Bridge to Wembley.
In your board and your owners, like none of you can tell me with a straight face that you believe in the structure of Chelsea at the moment. None of you.
Why?
Might have good players because you don't have no clue what they're doing. That's literally
the only thing I'm questioning. The only thing I question is the managers they pick. The only thing I question is the managers they pick. That's the only thing I question.
The managers they pick, the players they pick, the profile of the players that they pick.
What players? This is the problem. But this is my problem. In the summer, no one was saying this.
Who do you support, Mohammed?
You can't question.
I don't support a Premier League team. I'm a Napoli fan. My team's doing horribly this year.
But listen, I'm about to take your best player, Habibi. One second. Mo, end of the summer, when we take your best player, we can come back here. And you can cry about wages. You can cry about.
Again, bro.
I don't understand, bro. I can't give you the answer. I can't call Bowley right now and say what are you selling these players.
Chelsea can always take a Napoli player because you're going to pay him 85 times more than what we can pay.
How much do you think we're going to give? One second. Because you don't love this money nonsense. And you know what? First of all, I don't know why I even give a shit about the money. Inshallah, we pay the guy 400k a week. If he performs, he performs. I don't care.
Cool. No, but that's the reason they're joining your club.
Listen, so Habibi, 1 second.
Osimhen's on 100k at Napoli. I mean,
how much
he just signed a new contract.
How much you think we're going to pay him?
He's going to get paid about 175k a week.
Chelsea, and how much do you think you're going to give him?
At least 280k a week, at least.
280k, we'll see.
At least, which
and it's 200.
Osimhen to Chelsea, 300k a week.
That's what I'm saying. At least 280k, 300k a week.
300. I'll tell you what. Not even 300. 350k, the same as Sterling salary.
Okay.
Same as Sterling salary, but you're not gonna offer him 8. So now you're gonna have to offer him 350k for like 4 or 5 years.
We'll see. 350k.
Yeah, you'll see. Listen, this is
hey Mo, you want to talk about Man United?
No. flawless.
You want to talk about how much they pay their players?
How is it working out for Caicedo rejecting Liverpool? Thank you. Faraz for the super chat.
Yeah,
It's fine.
we still love you off them as well, so they can keep
Yeah, it's
crying
fine,
about
man.
that.
Listen,
Liverpool fans
people.
and-
I just want to tell you something. Four channels are in the description. Muhammad Salad, of course, his channel is actually gonna have content now for African Cup of Nation. Nina's channel, for the people who are asking, is in the description. She puts out content after every game. Casually FC as well for Andrew Surfer's channel. Everything is simple. You just go, click on the link. It will take you there. Simple subscription. Like the last video or the last 10 if you really want to help them. I want to thank everybody that joined us. And I don't see it's doom and gloom. You're still going to win at Stamford Bridge against Middlesbrough, and you're going to go through and you're going to face Liverpool at final, and you might win.
I
And you're
can't.
gonna
Just
all-
embarrassing.
I
Just
can't.
embarrassing.
I can't do it anymore. Pochettino out, and it's a lot. A lot of it comes from. A lot of it comes from what's his name. What I suffered last season with Potter. Sorry, mate. It's January. You're 10th. We're performing like shit. We got neutrals questioning players like Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. I can't have that, man.
Oh, I
Sorry,
didn't
mate.
question Enzo Fernandez, by the way. I'm just saying he's not worth that price. I'm questioning Caicedo, not Enzo.
It's the one above you, mate. The one that keeps going on about Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. But listen, man.
Bro, Enzo Fernandez is the most overrated player in the world. Like in the world.
Name me a Premier League team he doesn't start for.
Every team.
Yeah.
Apart from Man City.
Just gonna go round and round.
Apart from Man City.
Listen, people have work, but I'm telling you,
Top me, man.
at the moment now, he isn't better than any of Man City's midfielders. He
He's
isn't
over.
better. He might not even start for De Zerbi, bro. Like, I'm serious.
Okay,
bro.
ما في مشكلة
Billy
يا
Gilmore and
ما في
Pascal
مشكلة.
Gross are doing a much better
حق
job.
علي يا مو ما تخافش حق
But
علي
here's the
يلا.
problem with you. You actually don't understand the term overrated. You can be a 9 out of 10 player and you can be overrated.
I just
people
asked
say
you who does
you're a
Enzo
10.
Fernandez doesn't start for. You said Brighton. End the stream.
No, why
خلاص
not?
انتهينا يا مو.
Numbers
خلاص
don't
end off.
lie.
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
My
Anyway,
eyes don't
thank
lie.
you, people. Thank you, people, for being here. Appreciate everyone. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Turn your notification bell on. 1 p.m. UK time. Kunle and Sava, the show that you wait for. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And we are out of here.